Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more G-Senjou no Maou. So, let's get right to it. It's not easy to get away from a clinical psychology counselor once he gets a hold of you. Truth be told, you can't find a person in this world without a single psychological problem. And if you ask me, doctors are labeling mere discontent as serious disease. The good news is that I haven't reached the point where I need to be sent to a hospital yet. Still, a 5,000 yen per hour therapy fee is simply too much of a waste in my eyes. They make money by preaching bullshit about something you could have figured out by reading a book. What a magical, lucrative business. So, should I just talk about my past again? A certain building in the business district houses a clinical psychology institute on its 5th floor. That is a very tight suit. But anyway, beyond the reception desk, inside the therapist's room, I sat sitting face to face with the attending physician. The room itself was a spacious 500 square feet or more. A comfortable sofa and a surreal landscape painting are present to relieve anxiety, and a pair of matching tea-colored bookcases position themselves alongside the daily commodities. Even the light music that was circulating the room was there to target the sought-after goal of soothing a patient's soul.
もう10回目くらいになるかな?
Dr. Akimoto's tone was steady. His overweight body was wrapped in a white coat, and he directed a warm gaze at me. I've already read the story of his life from the back cover of his book. His picture gave off an impression of your everyday chubby man, like that of a pig. He's quite a distinguished man. He's quite a distinguished man. He studied in the States, acted as a special lecturer at a certain university in Tokyo, and had been a psychological counselor in the hospital of said university.
京介君、今だからこそ本当のことを話すけれどね。
It always takes some while to get to the point, but I've already gotten used to it. So used to it that I've come to find it almost endearing.
1年くらい前かな。ちょうど君が初めて私の元を訪ねてきた時だね。
It's gonna be a pop.
正直なところ、私は君の話を半信半疑に聞いていたんだ。
Beverage. Really?
君は何と言ってきたんだっけ?
One could say that his job entails getting his patients to repeat what he already knows over and over for themselves. It seems like I have different values than the average teenager in this society. Everyone always says to trust others, respect your superiors, help your friends, and honor your parents, but that's not the way my mind works. I believe that people's hearts can be bought with money, that everyone only thinks of themselves, and that people act in order to further propagate what benefits them most. Dr. Akimoto shook his blubbery head.
人間には誰しも良い自分と悪い自分が共存しているんだよ。幼児は犬猫をかわいそうだと思って拾ってあげる優しい一面と、カエルの口に爆竹を入れるような残酷な一面も持ち合わせているよね。
That is terrible.
けれど成長して情緒が整ってくると、悪い自分を理性で抑えられるようになる。君は今まで例えば人を殴ってやりたいとか思ったことはないかい?
Yes. When someone borrowed money without any intent to pay it back, I wanted to kill him.
けれど実際には殺さない。そうだよね。
Yes. He nodded again, satisfied.
ここが境目なんだ。君が人格障害を持つ患者でないことを示すボーダーラインなんだ。
This could also just be the standard problems and worries that come with growing up, yes?
アメリカのとある大学教授がね、思春期におけるホルモンバランスの変化がいわゆる不良少年を作り出す原因ではないということを実験で証明しているんだ。
But the things I'm doing right now aren't all that different from the actions of a delinquent. Gonzo introduced me to Dr. Akimoto. So on some level, he knows about my position within the Azai Corporation.
つまり、君が人の心は金で買えると思うようになってしまったのは、それなりの理由があるということだよ。
And that cause is?
それを今からじっくりと探っていこうじゃないか。
Oh. Truly a lucrative business. Worthy of respect. Of course, there's a reason that I spend my money on this counseling. This is a process that I must go through in order to receive a psychiatrist's signature on certain documents. Those documents waive a large portion of my school's attendance and credit requirements, making it easier to graduate. To a person like me, who skips often and doesn't take his academics seriously, it's a great deal. Of course, it does cost a pretty penny, but I only come here once a month, so I just think of it as using money to buy time. Needless to say, I don't have some personality disorder like Akimoto suspects.
じゃあ今日は君が今のお父さん浅井権蔵さんに引き取られたいきさつについて聞いてみてもいいかな。
That story's a bit long. Is that alright?
ゆっくりで構わないよ。
I glanced at the clock on the wall. I have 15 minutes left of this hour-long session. If I waste too much time, I'm going to be charged extra. To put it simply, it's a result of my biological father's debt. 50 million yen in total. Most of it was from the bank and NBFC loans. The real problem started when he borrowed dirty money from Gonzo's organization. Our family was cruelly and continuously harassed by Gonzo's thugs. After mortgaging the house, they carried away all of our belongings, furniture, and electronics, and I didn't mean to push enter. There was nothing left. I've only found out recently that they sold everything to a pawn shop. Mother was a bit sickly. Since we didn't even have a bed, we could lay down on some winter clothes in place of futons. Still, even in my wildest dreams, would I never have suspected the loan sharks to be so cruel. Yes, according to the newly passed laws, the police can intervene in behalf of citizens when they come into conflict with the underground societies. There was even an organization called the Victims Association. They used the internet to expose the ways that money went through the underground. But these efforts were merely a joke to those people. If one debt collector is chased away, another will come. If that one's chased away, yet another will rear its ugly head. No matter what, no matter how many times we fled or sought shelter, they would find us and knock on our doors. Filing for bankruptcy was popular for a while, but the process would take approximately 1 year from initial claim to closure. During this period of time, if the loan sharks caught up to you, you'd be dead. Your home, your parents' home, your friend's home, hotels nearby, taxi companies, newspaper stands, any place where one could get a temporary job. They would search it everywhere. In their minds, it's a humiliation to allow one's prey to escape. As people hung up on preserving their honor, those stubborn bastards would chase us to the end, only stopping once they devoured us whole. We were easily caught at my grandmother's place. They even chased us all the way to Hokkaido. It was terrifying. Those bastards didn't even spare Mom. They bashed my face in when I tried to protect her. And that was how I first became involved with the Zai Gonzo. I glanced at the clock again. The hour's almost up. I need to stop by the school. I'd better wrap this up fast.
なるほどね。よくわかったよ。
He's very matter-of-fact about it now. Really? Well then.
もう終わりにするかい?
Yes, there's something I need to do after this.
わかったよ。ただ、浅井君。
Dr. Akimoto lowered the meek corners of his eyes.
今の話だけで君という人間を理解するには少々難しいね。例えば、浅井権蔵さんはどうして債務者の息子である君を養子にしたんだい?
I'm sorry, sir, but the time.
ああ、いいんだよ。少しくらい。君がいつも1時間きっかりで帰るのは知っているからね。お金を気にしているんだろ?
He's definitely worthy of being someone whose business is people. He saw through me right away. Then I'll continue for a little longer.
ありがとう。
I sighed and picked up where I left off. He said, "You just might be something someday."
権蔵さんに?
It's probably because he saw that I didn't seem scared even though I was being pounded on by thugs.
度胸が座っていたんだね。
It's because my mind had shut down at the time.
何にしてもヤクザに見込まれるなんて大した男だよ、君は。
This man's too warm. I've met many people like him in my time. Nevertheless, I don't feel anything. No matter how upstanding a person is, you can't trust him. Even distinguished people, like this university professor and hospital advisor, are still after nothing but money. There have been occasions like today where he gave me discounts on the extra time I took. But that too is just another attempt to placate and manipulate his customers. If personal interests aren't a part of the motive, then things just don't add up. I'd rather deal with the simple, easy-to-understand side of humanity than try to truly know someone. So I became the son of Azai Gonzo. Because in the whole world, you won't find a bastard that's as simple as him. Gonzo gave me a warm place to live, everyday necessities, and the means and motivation to graduate from middle school. If I went to see him today and mentioned that I'd wanted to work for the family business in the future, he'd enroll me tomorrow in business classes only the rich could afford. If I decided I wanted to get in shape, then he'd introduce me to a boxing coach. Only, he didn't do that out of love or goodwill. After he heard my requests, Gonzo would say the same thing every time. Listen, Kyosuke, the reason I gave you these things and money is to put you under my control. Dr. Akimoto's expression became grave for an instant. If you ever get the idea in your head to off me in my sleep, I'll have raised you in such a way to make you hesitate to go through with it. If even for but a second.
噂には聞いていたが、強烈なお父さんだね。
Isn't it great how simple and easy he is to understand? He had no answer to my inquiry. Well, that's pretty much it for time.
ああ、最後にいいかな。
What is it?
君は友達なんかからよく忘れっぽいと言われたりしていないかな。
I frowned. I sometimes forget about promises that I made.
そう。
He nodded with force. What about it?
いや、君のように忙しい若者ならうっかりすることもあるのだろうね。
He's clearly trying to hide the truth. The reason that he asked me the question. He likely intends to leave it hanging like that on purpose, as a teaser for the next appointment.
じゃあ次回また都合がついたら連絡をください。
Thanks again for today. I straightened up and left. After I paid at the end of the hall, I was suddenly hit with a wave of dizziness. I need a change of pace. Sorry about that, taking a drink. I'm forgetful? I should be complaining about how I can't forget. I can't shake the resentment that comes from her casual trashing of my CD, knowing that it's something that I valued more than anything other than my own life. Cannon, I'll make sure that you pay. No.
兄さん、聞いてよ、聞いてよ。
When I arrived at school, it was already lunch break. Cannon was grumbling with a frown.
バレーボールできなかったんだよ。
Oh noes, who would have thought? Looks like the plan is progressing without a hitch. What? What happened? I desperately fought back my laughter as I listened to her complain.
なんだかね、体育用具室の鍵がなくなっちゃったみたいなの。もう、ほんとどこやっちゃったんだよ。
The keys are already in the school's mailbox.
そっか、それは残念だったね。
Eiichi's eyes were sparkling with evil.
結局マラソンになったんすよね。この寒空の中マラソンとか思わず転校してやろうかと思いましたよ。
What, you were looking forward to it too?
あ、いえ、自分基本スポーツ苦手なんで、バレーボールみたいなボール関係は特に。
It's got nothing to do with ball games. You're just bad at anything team-oriented, aren't you?
いや、それはないっす。
Mm-hmm. She desperately lacks self-awareness.
でも、カノンちゃん、今度の体育の時間に延期になっただけだから。のんちゃん、来週から3日間合宿だもん。学校来られないもん。
Too bad.
残念、残念。
Eiichi, you're too obvious, man. Eiichi and I exchanged glances as we tasted the sweet nectar of victory.
しかし、誰が鍵を隠したんだろうな。
Oh, you idiot! He just gave away the fact that it was hidden. Shock stole my words as Usami opened her mouth to speak.
どういうことっすか？
Damn it. We've been had. We're done. It's over. Yet Eiichi still had that stupid grin on his face.
だから、
あの鍵を盗んだのは誰なんだろうなって。盗まれた。盗まれたなんて誰も言ってないっすよ。
Eiichi, you are such an idiot. This is bad.
なんで盗まれたと思ったんすか？
いや、なんとなく。宇佐美さん？栄一くん？
Usami advanced towards Eiichi.
エテ吉さん。
栄一だって。
エテ吉さんは体育用具室の鍵を実際に見たり使ったりしたことはありますか？
This is bad. This is really bad.
鍵見たことなんてないよ。鍵なんて先生が持ってるもんだからね。
ならさっきはどうしてあの鍵って言ったんですか？言いましたよね。あの鍵を盗んだのは誰なんだろうなとか。普通はその鍵って言いませんかね。実際に見たこともなくて話に聞いただけのものに対してあのとか使いますかね。
I expected that in Japanese that probably is more of a distinction, but yeah.
それは言葉のあやってやつじゃない？エイちゃんが盗んだのか？
Yes! Cannon raised her hand.
ちょっと僕じゃないよ。カノンちゃん落ち着いて。待てー
Eiichi bolted, leaving Cannon to chase after him.
浅井さん、
Usami suddenly turned towards me.
昨日はどうも。
No problem. I have a bad feeling about this.
聡明な浅井さんはどう思います？
Nah, I'm not that smart. Could it be that she suspects me? Damn! The biggest advantage to this plan was the single fact that we wouldn't naturally be suspected or become suspects. But that idiot just had to go and poke a hole through the armor.
これってバレたらシビアにまずいですよね。
Yeah, if it really was him, he'd be suspended.
ですよね。うちのクラスだけじゃなくてこの学園全部の体育の授業で用具室が使えなくなってしまったんすから。ただエテ吉さんって邪悪な心の持ち主ではありますけどチキンはチキンだと思うんすよ。スライムですし。
Just a slime. I knew it. She's suspecting me. If we're found to be responsible, we'll be suspended. Eiichi is just a small-time troublemaker. He wouldn't take this kind of risk. What, are you trying to say that I'm his accomplice? The corner of Usami's mouth curved upwards.
浅井さんには動機がありますからね。
Oh, and what's this so-called motive?
CD に傷つけられましたよね。お返しにカノンが楽しみにしてたバレーボールが中止になったら愉快じゃないですか。
You're too sharp, Usami. She saw right through my plot. Wait, I'm a chicken as well.
そうっすかね。
If I wanted to get back at her, I would. But why would I do something on the scale and disrupt the entire school like a terrorist?
木を隠すなら森の中っていうかペンギンを隠すなら群れの中と言います。
That's not a saying. The old saying of what planet?
容疑者を絞り込ませないために犯罪の規模を大きくする。なかなか手の込んだことをしてくれますね。
Look, I really wasn't involved. I mean, come on. Disrupting the entire school for the day just to satisfy a personal grudge is way too much for me.
今日の
God damn it.
どうして今日のなんすかね。明日になったら鍵を発見されてるんすかね。まるで鍵が今日中に見つかることが分かってるような発言じゃないですか。
Oh man, okay. We put our foot in our mouth. No, wait. I can still get away with this. The school can't screw up PE 2 days in a row. The teachers will think of something. Besides, I never said the key would be found today. Just that PE has been disrupted for the day. Don't make that kind of misleading statement. Usami laughed lightly again.
それはそうかもしれませんね。
You get it?
理解できないこともありませんが、まだまだ納得できるほどじゃない。
We stared at each other for a while. No need to panic. She has no proof. The keys will be found soon, and all this commotion will die down soon enough. As long as there's no proof that Eiichi was the one in the faculty office at 9 last night, this affair will be buried in the darkness.
そろそろ休み時間終わるよ。
I bet you he left something. Yeah, and it's really cold too. We should go back to the classroom.
カノンちゃんももういいじゃない。
Cannon was yanking Eiichi along by the tie.
僕じゃない、僕じゃないよ。どうしてくれる？どうしてくれる？宇佐美様、浅井君はみんなが迷惑するようなことをする人じゃないよ。
Us never!
私は正しいことは正しいと、間違っていることは間違っていると言いたいだけだ。
でもお友達なんだし疑っちゃダメだよ。
Tsubaki, you're such a good girl.
友達が間違っているのに間違っていると言わないのは悪だ。
She's got a steady head on her shoulders. Yet something in my guts, or the very bottom of my heart, can't help but feel repulsed. Just who the hell is this girl?
っていうか、椿、私のことは勇者と呼べと言ったろ。
And she gets pissed about the weirdest things.
ごめんね、宇佐美さん。
You did it again.
だからちげえだろうが。
And so lunch break ended. 5th period math class. As the end of class drew near, everyone began to grow excited. After all, Mr. Passion for Education math teacher had yesterday's tests graded and ready to hand back.
やったー、赤点免れたよ。
Cannon let out a bright cheer, as if the volleyball event had never happened.
浅井君、どうだった？
Not so bad. I got an 80.
自分100点でした。
Despite the fact that no one had asked her, Usami started yapping.
うわ、すごい。編入初日の試験だったのに。
Were your other school's classes further along? Her cheeks were red for some reason. What's wrong? Why are you quiet all of a sudden?
ここでまぐれだとか言うと、ちょっとかっこいいんじゃないかと思ってます。
She's as bizarre as ever.
先生。
Eiichi suddenly raised his hand beside me.
先生、ここ合ってますよ。
He donned the cute mask once more and pattered over to the teacher.
なんだ伊沢。
ここ合ってるのに圧つけられてるんですよ。
お、すまん。
これでギリギリ赤点脱出ですよ。
How much you want to bet that he changed that answer just
もっ
now?
と勉強しろ。
Eiichi stuck his tongue out and the teacher lightly hit him on the head. Unsuspecting girls scattered about the classroom, glanced in his direction and giggled at how cute he was. The math teacher finished up and left the room.
エイちゃん、ズルしたんじゃないだろうな。
してないよもう。
本当かな。1を4に書き直したり、3を8に書き直したりしてないかな。
カノンちゃん、いい加減僕を信じてよ。
Never! Hey, Eiichi, let me see that. On the test, there were 5 places marked where an X had been replaced with a circle. And of those 5 places, not a one had an easily changed answer, as Cannon had suggested.
浅井さん、鍵が見つかったそうですよ。
Don't start pulling conversations out of the aether?
というわけで自分、職員室に聞き込みに行ってきます。
And what's so natural about that? Usami disappeared from the classroom at blinding speed, like a cheetah.
京介、
Eiichi whispered to me.
大丈夫なんだろうな。
Don't panic.
でもな、あのウサミって女は俺たちを疑ってるんだぜ。
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling Usami. As long as you don't start gabbing again, there'll be no problems.
バレたら定額だよな。
Eiichi, if this was Clue, I'd be waiting for you in the study with a candlestick.
口封じかよ。
Damn straight. You get it now? Next time Usami asks you about it, distract her somehow, even if you have to pretend to be insane. Just don't tell her anything.
分かった。急に腹が痛くなることにする。
That's still suspicious, but we're already suspicious enough, so it'll do. Usami, damn that woman. You want to reveal my plan? Let's just see you try. You'll never succeed, Usami. The brilliant sunset shot through the classroom. Usami's been quietly sitting in front of me for the entirety of the final class today. Not even a single hair has moved. Hey, Usami. Hey, don't ignore me.
犯行時刻が分かったんすよ。
She didn't even turn around as she suddenly made this shocking revelation. When was it?
昨日最後まで残っていた先生に聞きました。
Miss Noriko? Usami nodded lightly.
昨日の夜8時半、バドミントン部の先生が部活で使用していた鍵を戻しに来たところまでは、体育用具室の鍵は確実に職員室にあったそうです。
And the thing is, like, when she said just now, the teacher on duty, it just told me a few things. He said, Miss Noriko, it's like, well, you just verified that you knew who was on duty last night, which was also suspicious, but anyway. I entered the faculty office at 9, so the keys were taken after 8:30 yesterday. What else is there?
今日の朝一番にバドミントン部の先生が朝練習のために体育用具室を開けようとしたそうなんです。その時には鍵はもうなかったんです。昨晩8時半にはちゃんとあったはずの鍵が朝には盗まれていた。
Are you sure they were stolen?
体育用具室の鍵だけがなくなっているんならともかく、マスターキーまでなくなっていたんです。昨日マスターキーを使用した先生は誰もいないそうです。ずっと職員室にあったそうです。
Of course. If the master key disappears at the same time, theft is by far the most probable cause.
犯人は間違いなく体育用具室を使えないようにしたかったのです。
That sounds just about right.
犯行時刻は昨日の夜8時半から10時までです。10時にのりこ先生が職員室に施錠をしましたから。
During this time, did anyone other than Miss Noriko enter the room?
のりこ先生の話を聞く限りでは誰もいなかったそうです。
Then could Miss Noriko have been the culprit? After these words escaped my mouth, Usami immediately got
のり
irritated.
こ先生に限らず教師が犯人なら犯行のチャンスはいくらでもあります。わざわざ自分しか職員室にいない時間を選んで鍵を盗む必要はありません。
That was a dead end. In the end, Miss Noriko had no motive. Stealing the key wouldn't benefit a teacher at all.
浅井さんは昨日の夜何してたんすか？
Last night? This is a trap. Usami already got this information from Miss Noriko. She probably mentioned last night to her during their little interview. If I throw out a clumsy lie, she'll break through it. And she also knows about him being on the street late last night. Actually, I talked to Miss Noriko about Eiichi last night.
聞いてます。何時頃でしたっけ？
Just past 9 is what I want to say, but it'd be unnatural for me to know the specific time when I don't wear a watch. I don't know. 8ish?
9時過ぎだったそうですよ。
Don't ask me if you already know.
どうしてそんな時間に？のりこ先生に用があるならもうちょっと早い時間でも構わないでしょう。
I knew it. She thinks I'm suspicious. You've already confirmed this, man.
浅井さんは放課後になるとマッハで帰ることで有名みたいじゃないですか。
It was Eiichi's private matter. I didn't want anyone besides Miss Noriko to see or hear it.
6時でも7時でもよかったじゃないですか。それぐらいの時間なら誰もクラスに残っていないでしょう。
There are no students in the class, but there would still be teachers in the faculty office. At that, Usami grew quiet.
まあいいっす。浅井さんは友達思いらしいっすからね。
Okay, I've muddled my way past that. The problem is what's next.
問題はエテ吉さんの机ですよ。
I knew she'd go there.
なんかのりこ先生への愛の歌が書かれていたはずだったとか？
Yeah, it used to be there.
でも自分エテ吉さんが机に落書きしてるのを見たことないっすよ。
That's because you just transferred.
はい、そうだと思って他の人にも聞いてみましたがやっぱり見たことないと皆さんおっしゃい
You
ま
were
す。
such a busybody. This is never going to end. I lose. I made that up.
そうきましたか。
Say what you will. I've always wanted to play matchmaker between the two of them. So I was lying, big deal. I just wanted to let Miss Noriko know about Eiichi's feelings.
浅井さんらしくないっすね。
Why not?
浅井さんならもっとうまくやるでしょ。落書きを実際に書いておくとか、いろいろできたはずです。
That's true. You're overestimating me. I can't believe she's going this far. Oh well, even though I made a few mistakes, they weren't deadly ones.
何にせよ自分、こう思ってます。
Usami turned around.
あなたはのりこ先生を教室までおびき出したんです。その隙にエテ吉さんが職員室に忍び込んで鍵を盗んだんです。
She hit the nail on the head. Quite a situation you put me in. I flashed her a casual smile. If you got it worked out so well, then I'm sure you have some evidence, right? Usami is silent. Hey, what is it? Is the logic game over already? Then, the bell that signaled the end of school rang. It's such a villainous line, you know, that kind of like mocking the detective in this case. It's kind of funny. As if synchronized with the bell, Usami stood up suddenly.
証拠っすか。
The gaze of the entire class was on her. Really, I thought we were the only ones talking to her, but Usami's expression, contrary to that of the average teenage girl, bore an intimidating, dignified presence of superiority.
もちろんある。
何？
昨日の夜、エテ吉さんが職員室にいたという証拠が。
You damn fool! What? Did someone see him last night? No, no matter how good she is, she couldn't have found an eyewitness during the short break. Then just what is the evidence?
エテ吉さん、
僕？何も知らないよ。
ちょっといいっすかね。
お腹が、自分の盲腸が。
Oh my god. He's starting the act.
平地君、大丈夫？
But Tsubaki was the only one fooled.
何どうしたの？
Oh man, even Shiratori. Not only Canon, but even Shiratori is watching us from afar after hearing all this racket.
痛くて僕何も喋れないよ。
What a coinky-dink. Usami ignored Eiichi and started to flip through his desk. Hey, what are you...
ありました。
Usami took out a certain object. It was the math test that we just got back.
これが証拠です。
I looked closely at his answers. And then, I felt a chill run down my back.
気づきましたか？
I can't believe this!
やはり浅井さんは聡明っすね。
Why didn't I notice it before?
エテ吉さん、この問題本当は間違えていたんでしょ？
どういうこと？ウサミン、そこは採点ミスだったんじゃないの？
違う。
She said it decisively, without a shadow of doubt.
これは本当に間違っていた。エテ吉さんが正解に書き直したんだ。
答案を返してもらった時に答えをズルして直したっていうの？そんなことしないよ。ねえ、エイチ君。してないよ。
This time, an unexpected voice popped up.
してないわ。私、見てたもの。
Shiratori turned to look at me as she spoke. Shiratori is on Eiichi's right-hand side, three seats away from me. Is she implying that her original intent was to watch me?
相沢君が変な素振りを見せていないことは確かよ。
Nevertheless, Usami just shook her head.
誰もさっき書き直したとは言ってま
Yep,
せん。
last night is what she's saying.
え？じゃあいつ？
It's over.
昨日の夜9時過ぎ。
There's nowhere to run now.
誰もいない職員室で。
Is there any way to get out of this?
この答案をよく見てください。答えが直された箇所だけ文字が崩れていませんか？
あ、本当だ。小さな穴も開いてるね。でもそれが何なのかな。それでどうしてエイチ君が昨日の夜に職員室にいたことになるの？
Usami nodded.
知っての通り、テストというものは必ず自分の机で答えを記入します。けれど 絵的さんの机は傷一つありません。綺麗なもんです。
Right, and when, if you recall, there was that time when the math teacher called Kyosuke in there, and he made him take that impromptu pop quiz, and they made a note that his desk was really bumpy, and, you know, he even, like, wore a hole in the paper. He's like, I can't take a test like this, and, you know, he's like, my desk has served me well all these years, so that's why.
ならどう
I
し
get
て
it.
こんなに文字がぶれたり紙が破れて穴が開いたりしているのか。この答案は別の場所、別の机か床で書かれたのではないかと。どこで書かれたのか。
I remembered the events of 2 days ago. Yep, this is what I was talking about. Alright, I'll do it. I held the pencil and gazed at the questions. This here goes like this.
浅いなら簡単だろ。
Yeah, the pop quiz. The teacher was staring at me like a hawk, observing my every move. Don't stare at me like...
なんだ。
The lead snapped. Well, just look. The desk is a little bumpy, don't you think? If one were to look closely, one would notice the many holes on the desk, along with countless scratches.
教師の机ってのは使い込むもんなんだよ。
Yep. Oh, come on, it's just a desk. Trying to write on this thing messes up the characters. And look right here, it even made me tear a hole in the paper.
答えは職員室の数学教師の机にありました。
Damn, Eiichi, that bastard! I told him clearly he wasn't to do anything outside of the plan. It's probably going to be useless, but I should still ask. It didn't have to be last night though, right? He could have snuck in the day before, or even this morning.
あの熱血教師に聞きました。テストの採点は昨日の夜8時くらいに終わったんだそう
She
です。
covered every angle.
つまり絵的さんが自分の答案の得点を見ることができたのはその後なんです。
If he didn't know that he was wrong, then he wouldn't have tried to change it.
でも栄一くんが職員室にいたっていうのは確かなことなのかもしれないけど、そうだよ、僕はやってない。
苦しすぎると思いませんか。犯行時刻にあなた以外の誰も職員室にいなかったんすよ。
We're finished. Eiichi looked at me with a helpless expression. Of course, you suspect me as well.
はい。絵的さんが職員室に忍び込んだ正確な時間はのりこ先生が絵的さんの姿を見ていない以上。
And that's exactly what happened.
京介、うおい。
Sorry if you guys can hear all the dogs barking. They are just going nuts. I didn't factor in your intelligence when I created the plan. I stand defeated. I sighed as I shook my head. The sound of Eiichi's resentment echoed around the entire room. Oh my god! He completely ruined his facade! Shut up, you idiot. It's all your fault anyway. We started a fight. What did you call me?
兄さん、ちょっと喧嘩は。
醜い仲間割れが始まりましたね。
そんな兄さんが悪者だったなんて。
That's right, Cannon. I was the culprit. Shiratori's just like,
呼んでくるね。
whatever. I'm not involved in this. Tsubaki ran out, and Cannon speechless. I'm still fighting with Eiichi.
ムサムさん、あなたって実は賢いのね。どうしたの？赤くなってるわよ。
いや、こういう時証明終了とか言うと。
Oh, Sami. Well, we're gonna be suspended, I bet. Afterwards, Eiichi and I were called to the faculty office.
ああ、相当にこってり絞られたな。
Tsubaki and Cannon had been waiting patiently while the teacher preached to us.
定額にならなかっただけ
No,
よ
we
かった
weren't.
ね。
It's all because I'm such a good student.
反省しなきゃダメだぞ。
Same to you. If you didn't wreck my CD, none of this would have happened.
もう兄さんは根に持つ人だな。
quiet. Hurry up and get to the rink.
はいはい、また来週ね。
Bye,
私は帰る
Cannon.
ね。
Bye, Tsubaki. The two of them quickly left.
チェ、
Really?
あばよ。
Yeah. Eiichi left with a stormy face. Now then, tomorrow's Saturday. It's the weekend, and the bars and cabarets are buzzing. It's a busy time for the Azai Corporation. I should get home quickly and organize everything. This isn't a joke. As I spoke on the phone, I changed out of my uniform and into my casual clothes. You have a house and land in the Southern District. Miraculously, none of them are mortgaged. You can imagine my suspicion when you tell me that you're as desperately in debt as you claim to be. These lowly entrepreneurs, even as their company sinks into the sea of impoverished breakdown, they still frantically cling to their personal property. Hey, I'm not playing around here. A pained voice passed through the phone. Something like, please stop for now. Something about a daughter's wedding. And an insult, something about a demon. I don't feel anything. My mouth moves mechanically. Are you saying that I'm the reason your daughter can't have a happy wedding? The other party could only groan. I was barely interested, sending out my ultimatum. After completing the long phone call, I walked into my study. I turned on my computer and checked the news and some stocks that had unpredictable movements. There's nothing particularly unusual. Shiratori Construction, which funds my school, has a very steady share price. I checked my mailbox too. Guess I'll listen to some Bach and go to sleep early today. There's an unfamiliar article of mail. It's probably an ad. I generally delete spam without reading it, but the subject piqued my interest. The devil. Devil. No, the devil. Mail from the devil. Interesting. I moved the mouse, checking the contents. Oh come, lovely child. Oh come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee. What the hell is this? There's only a line of senseless text. Oh well, it wouldn't be spam if it wasn't senseless. I closed my mailbox and did a small stretch. I removed the box CD from its wrapper. The fingers that were ripping the plastic stopped. The devil? Schuber's der... oh god. Erklingong. I don't know, guys. I mostly know the original German and the official Japanese translation of der Erklingong, called Maou. Still, I think the contents of the email are close enough to the poem to be called a translation. I was suddenly attacked by a light headache.
魔王、知らないか。
Yeah. A coincidence? If this is just spam, the timing is really perfect. I can use this as something to talk about the next time I see Usami. Oh, phone. Hello? I didn't bother to check the caller ID. Hello? There's no answer. Who is it? A very quiet voice spoke up.
浅井くんだよね。
Tsubaki. Don't scare me like that.
びっくりしたのはこっちだよ。
Huh?
浅井くんって全然声色が違う時があるよね。
I need to start portraying that when I, do his voice at school. It should be more lighthearted and, like this. And then when he's talking to the others, it should be something more like this. Very no nonsense, Anyway. It is? I never really noticed.
うんうん。この前浅井くんのお家に行った時もそうだったよ。
Well, it's hard to tell with your own voice.
別人みたいだよ。ちょっと怖かった。
Never mind that. How did you get my phone number?
この前教えてくれたじゃない。
Ah, right. Sorry, I forgot.
まあ、ほんと忘れっぽいんだから。
Let's move on. Did something happen? I glanced at the clock. It's already 2 in the morning. Damn!
うん。今日は大変だったね。
Who calls like their classmate at 2 a.m. today?
体育用具室の鍵。
Yeah, the teacher really let us have it.
かのんちゃんのことまだ怒ってる？
No, I'm over it already. I was just playing around. I heard her reply with a sigh of relief.
そっか、よかった。心配してたんだよ。
What, you called just because of that?
カノンちゃんもね、ちょっぴり反省してるって言ってたよ。
Huh. How rare. To think that selfish airhead is actually reflecting on her actions.
きっと浅井くんだからだよ。
She giggled quietly. Is there anything else?
え？
Hmm?
いや、用事なんてないよ。
Really?
どうして？
Ah, nothing. So, Tsubaki was only worried about me. But how can worrying about me be a bit of benefit to her? Does she feel satisfaction from me having a favorable opinion of her? People don't act with either the possibility of gain or the fear of sanctions against inaction.
浅井く
Ah, sorry. I fell asleep.
ん？もうひどいよ。日記にメモしとこ。
Oh noes! Not your diary. If my guess is correct, her feelings towards me go beyond those of simple friends. That would explain her recent desire to know more about me. However, I might be reading too much into it. I don't have any interest in women without money anyway. I need to sleep. I have to eat with Gonzo again early tomorrow morning. I get it. Thanks a lot for going to all this trouble and calling me.
浅井くんと電話できて嬉しかったよ。
It seems like she's sincerely happy.
どうしたの？眠い？
No. A person like that can't exist. Good night. Let's do something again when we have the chance. Without waiting for her to reply, I ended the call. My apartment costs a whopping 650,000 yen a month. From the 18th floor, one can enjoy a view of the entire city. Under the protection of Azai Gonzo, I've managed to obtain an amount of money normally unthinkable for someone of my stature. At first, everyone whispered around that I was an insufferable little brat getting in over my head. As of late, though, my reputation has begun to live up to my standing as the demon's child. A person like that can't exist. If a person as kind as a saint exists, why didn't they come and help me back then? At that moment, why didn't they reach out to me with aid? I picked up a photograph. It's always been hidden deeply, far from prying eyes. A crude old photograph that doesn't have a frame. It's my mother when she was young. It was taken by me. I pressed the numbers on my cell phone while looking at the picture. I knelt in regret, waiting anxiously for the call to connect. After 10 rings. Hello, Mom? She hasn't changed. Not even a bit. Yes, I'm going to work hard. Don't worry. I talked to her. One topic after another. Ah, yeah, I got my allowance. Yeah, there was 50,000 yen in there. Thanks. Yeah, I have to get some winter clothes. But don't worry about me running out of money. Girlfriend? I don't have one. Well, I do have a lot of friends. Is it snowing over there? Really? It's going to snow here too, soon. Mother suddenly became quiet, as if devoting her ears to my voice. Bye. Take care. I'll call you again. After the call ended, I walked towards the small safe in the corner of the room, keyed in the password, and opened the door. Bundles and bundles of 10,000 yen bills met me. There's probably over 50 million yen in there. After tax, all the money naturally became my own wealth that I could use as I pleased. Will I ever get the chance to give this to her? Will she accept this money that I earned through my own hard work? Will I get to see her rejoice for her son's success in life? Mom. Alright, and I think that is a good spot to end today's episode. There's the save. I always forget how to save in this game because it's so different from a lot of others where you usually have to right click and go to a menu. But I digress. As always, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.